There's no guarantee that you will find yourself in positive organizational culture. What methods and strategies have you found to navigate through challenging cultures?
All right, we're to the last one here. And I love your comment there, Ashok, too. Team building is a great way to build culture. Absolutely. Um, yes, so hopefully nobody finds themselves in this right now.
Yep.
But probably at some point, you are going to either be in a negative culture or you're going to know somebody that does. And it's really good as a project professional to know, how do I navigate that? And because sometimes the illustration that I use in my presentation is actually of a pet cemetery. So you can envision all of these little tiny pet tombstones that makes you very sad. And when you're walking through, what do? You feel stuck. You're like, oh, could I ever get out of here? But I believe as project professionals, because of our unique roles, what we can do is within our whatever sphere, and I'm not saying this is easy because I've been there, it's not. But here's just a couple questions that I would ask yourself, and you could take these with you, maybe help you or even help somebody else. Is there a sense that employees are closed off or anxious or fearful? If you feel that in your culture, it's probably not promoting, you probably don't have a great culture, but what can you do?
Yeah.
You have project meetings, you work with stakeholders, you work with other project managers, we already talked about what kind of sphere of influence you have. Use that space to try to turn it around with continuous improvement. It's going to take small steps, but you think about it, if it's a culture that's maybe kind of pressing down and you kind of feel stuck, but yet I come to a meeting with, I come to a project meeting and I maybe encourage Dharam, and we're talking about this deliverable, and we're like, yes, we can do this, and you understand this, and then we build that relationship, and then Dharam goes back to his team and he starts to do that, and you can see how that can snowball. So ask yourself that question, do I feel this? And then establish and maintain standards of fairness.
Yeah.
If somebody's scared to even talking in a meeting, maybe start out by even using like a delphi technique of just saying, hey, everyone write down, nothing's off the table, it's anonymous, so it's not threatening. And then I come back to a meeting 2 weeks later and I say, I love this idea, we're going to implement this, and I didn't even use your name, but inside you're going, that's my idea. They're actually using my idea, and it seems small, but it's one step at a time to turn around that culture. And then the second question is, do you recognize maybe social or work cliques or silos developing? That's another sign of a negative organizational culture. And if you start to see, oh, that person only hangs out with these 3 people and they leave the rest of the project team in the dark. So here's what you can do, is that you can then encourage and participate in building those relationships. You come out of that circle and go, I'm going to engage with a stakeholder, and I'm going to, again, build that relationship. I'm going to bring them along, and all of a sudden now your team gets bigger. And those silos start to go away. Or say, and it happens, say this team doesn't talk to this team, all it takes is 2 people to start to build those relationships to say, okay, I'm going to talk to you, we're going to build this, and go, you know what, the accounting department really isn't that bad. I talked to Dharam the other day, and he's a really great guy and really wants us to move forward on this project. Again, you go back and you start, and it snowballs. So that's just a couple questions that you can ask yourself and make sure that you aren't promoting that negative culture. That's number 1. Don't become involved in it. I've been there.
Yeah.
I have done it, and it makes you feel yucky, and it's not professional. It doesn't do anybody any good. And so if you just step back and go, what can I do to help turn this around and build this with my stakeholders? Remember, you're working on objectives, you're working on programs, you're working on portfolios. How can I, in my sphere of influence, turn this around and promote positive work culture.